Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I like when people come clean and say, yes, man, I take responsibility. I did it. Let's see what the consequences are, good or bad. Now, maybe you are untouchable and there will be no consequences. Maybe you are touchable and then there are going to be some consequences. Either way, you have the courage, or at least, the decency to come and say, you know what, I did that, good or bad. What happened here? We have the chief of the security services of Ukraine, which is, or used to be, historically part of something called KGB, I think. But anyway, KGB was the proper name of the Soviet Union, the whole blah blah blah, but it had its own offices all over their little Soviet socialist republics. So whenever we say KGB, obviously we are reflexively saying bad. Okay, because KGB is the same thing as FBI and CIA, but these guys are good, those guys are bad, even though they apply the same, they are on the same business. They apply different methods. Yes. So this is the security service of Ukraine. The chief comes and says, you know what, we blew up the Crimean Bridge in October 2022, last year. It was us. It was we who did it. Okay, my man, good job. Now, for me, that is an attack on a civilian infrastructure, which is a terrorist act by my books. And the argument coming from this guy is the military uses that bridge. Well, like that, you can move further and say, okay, the military uses air. That means, and the civilians use air as well. The military uses cities. The military uses roads. The military, the military have wives and children. And, if you go like this, or the military uses water. So let's maybe attack their water supply. I don't know, like, I'm not going to give you some ideas, but sometimes they do certain things in the water. Should they do that? Because the military drinks water as well. You see, with this thing, with this kind of argument, everything is up for bombing? No, obviously not. Another argument the Ukrainians said, we blew that because there was not an legitimate authorized building or something like that. The Russians built it. Okay, is that a bad project? No. So that is like going back to Germany and destroying the freeways, or destroy the American freeways because they were designed by what? Albert Speer and Adolf. Now we should destroy that. You know that Eisenhower, when he traveled in Deutschland after the war, he said, whoa, these autobahns are sehr good. So what did he do? He copied them. In the 50s, when this guy started with an interstate project, they copied the German Autobahn, designed and built by... So, using the same method, why would you copy what those guys did? Because it's functional. Why didn't they destroy the Autobahn in Germany? Because it's a reminiscence, of something that remains from the... So that's an idiotic, again, argument. You want to take it? Take it, but remember, if you agree with those two arguments that I mentioned, one, it's a military blah, 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 and the other one, it's an illegal construction. If you take those two could be used against you. Could be used against your family, me. Why? Because if you use that logic could be used, and not only by you, the Russians can also use it, can't they? And if not, why not? Because they're bad? Again, we get to the violin, you're good, you're bad, ooh, yeah, boo, bah. Because I say so, who appointed me as being the judge. So let's see what this guy is saying right here. This is from Ukrainska Pravda today, Wednesday, 26 July 2023. Security Service of Ukraine chief takes responsibility for damaging Crimean Bridge in 2022. If you remember, it was a truck that exploded over the Crimean Bridge. If I have to show you where that is right here. This is, and I don't have to show you, I would like to show you. This is the Crimean Peninsula. Here is the Kerch Bridge, right here. It's a fantastic, I would say, achievement for the engineering of the Russians, and not only. It's a positive project. I think it's the longest bridge in, I don't know if it's the longest, but I don't want to say anything about that. It was something like that, but I'm not certain if something else in Sweden made it the longest bridge, blah, 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 blah. But anyway, it's an achievement. Take it however you want. You destroy the Russians, you push them back, and that is a good thing. That the Russians paid for it, not you. You know what I mean? So this is what happened. Now, we go here to the Russians, right? Federal Security Services. So this is, right? That is the precursor, let's put it this way, of KGB. Right here, it was Russia and the main successor agency to the Soviet Union KGB. This is the Russians. But we have the Ukrainians, and then if you read that here they were again the SBU. There's the Ukrainian Security Services is the successor of the Ukrainian branch of the Soviet KGB. So, what I'm trying to say is when you hear about the Ukrainian Security Service and you hear about the Russian Security Service, don't look at the Russians as being, oh, KGB, but these guys are, where do I begin to tell the story of my love story? No, it's not a love story here, okay? So, KGB, the same mother, all right, with breast feeding right there. But hey, CIA and FBI are A-OK. My friends, they're in the same business, getting information. Under the, you want some water? No, we're going to give you anyway. Give us some more water. You want some water? No, don't talk, man. Just tell us right now after we're done with this. You know, waterboarding, that's only one. I have a gut feeling that's more than that. But hey, just me, you know, crazy. So here, my friends, we have these guys finally coming clean and saying, yeah, we did it. But from the interpretation of a, how should I put it, turn the table and say, okay, what if the Russians would have done this? How would you call that? Definitely I would call it as it is, a terrorist attack. All right, you say, well, what happened to Moscow? They were attacked by drones. Civilian, how do you call it, infrastructure was destroyed over there. Was it a terrorist act? Anyway, you know what I mean. It was those high-rise, the buildings that were attacked by the drones and blown up. I mean, it was not a military target, was it? I'm going to find out about these things when they allow us to find out, but we're not idiots. And I refuse to, dumb myself down because these guys are telling me something that really, shut up. I mean, really. I urge you not to allow yourself to be buffaloed by these guys right here just because they have, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, US presidency, CIA, FBI, KGB. No. Think for yourselves. Verify, and put things together. You all lie, but you have to, as I said many times, imagine that you're in a nighttime and you have to go through a dark, how should I put it, alley. And as you know, on that dark alley, let's say it's 20 meters long. Not very long, but enough. You know that people take shits on those. You know that's a lot of doo-doo on the ground. But you have to go through this. When you barely can see anything and you just... That's how you have to do with the news. And this guy's telling you all kind of things. Don't touch the shit. Check it out. Oh, it's over there. I don't see it. Oh, and then you sleep. Oh, shit, that was one. And when you get it on the other hand, when the other side, when you finally cross the whole thing, you look at your shoes and say, shit. Why? Because you might have stepped, of course, in some doo-doo, like I do. I sometimes step on doo-doo because I don't have, I don't see what's going on over there. I rely on sources. This kind of sources, other kind of sources, whatever sources I can get. And I verify them as much as I can. Not say, okay, this guy said that, and then in 2 days they say, no, we didn't say that. But sometimes you sleep on doo-doo on that long, dark alley. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.